Hi, Kaylee. How's it going?
Hello, how are you? I'm good.
Good. Wait, do I have, give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. All right, and we're just waiting for one more here. We'll give them a couple minutes. But yeah, in the meantime, feel free to just put your camera on, make sure your original sound is on, and we'll get started pretty soon. So you are playing harp. Okay, cool. Is the piece you're playing for CM?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, cool. And then this one, I did see a note that you will try to memorize it. And are you going to be playing from memory or with the notes today?
Um, I'll be playing um from memory.
Memory? Okay. All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. I'll just let it go till one more minute here till 05. Wait a little bit. But it might just be us today. So nice short, small class. And how long have you been learning this piece?
For about a week now.
Okay, nice. Very good, very good. And so I would assume you're going for the level one certificate of merit.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Well, I think at this point we can just get started. Um, so let's have you just well, you don't have to introduce your piece just because it's just us two today. So or for right now. So go ahead and whenever you're ready, you can just play your piece and then we'll talk about it a little bit, okay?
Okay.
Very nice job. Very nice job. So you said you've only been playing this one for a week, so a lot of good things, definitely. And what would you say was the hardest part for you when learning this piece in such a short amount of time?
Hmm. Mostly just the stretches because I had to stretch my pointer finger and my pinky.
Mhm. Right, right. Yeah. So we can definitely talk about some of those movements today of the stretches and all. Um, and then do you know what all of these, right? You see a lot of like sets of three notes, right? So do you know what those are forming, maybe?
Hmm.
Like, let's say if we played all those three notes together, you know what that would be?
That would be
I'll show you this way too. Maybe this will help. Here's my little pencil. Okay, so for example, right, these three, if I drew them this, and you were to play them all together, do you know what you would call that? Not sure?
Not sure.
Not sure? Okay. Well, that's okay. So this piece is formed of broken triads, right? So broken chords. And I was just asking, right, if you play it all together, so that would actually be a blocked chord, right? So in this case, maybe I don't know if your professor asked you to, when you were learning the piece, to maybe play the notes like this. Did you ever play it that way?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that would be considered blocked chords, right? So that's when you're playing all three of the notes at the same time. And in I would just say that essentially this helps the player just to get to all three of the notes quickly, right, into that new hand position, because you are moving around a lot in this piece. So the other thing that I wanted to ask, so in your performance, what is something that you feel like you could improve for next time if you play again?
For me, sometimes when I play, I kind of make spaces in there, and
So maybe just keeping a consistent pulse, right? Like consistent tempo.
yes.
Yeah, that sounds good. And then in this piece, right, we are in 6/8. The time signature is 6/8 that we see over here. So do you know what these numbers mean?
I I know that the six means like the number of beats in a measure,
Mhm.
and
Yes. So 6 beats per measure. Good. And then so in this case, right, how many notes do you see per measure normally? Like on this page, you can see how many notes per measure.
6 notes per measure.
6 notes per measure. So something that might maybe be a little bit different, yeah, right, with 6/8 versus normally, I'd say a more common time signature would be 4/4 or 3/4, right, with the four on the bottom, right? In this case, with an 8 on the bottom, it's just changing which note or what type of note gets 1 beat, right? So here, each of our eighth notes is getting 1 beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, so you get this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it has two big beats, right? So the one, I should say strong beats, 1 and 4, right? When you're playing the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when you're playing, do you feel like you can feel this sort of separation of there's those two larger beats happening in the six?
Yes.
Yeah, good. Very good. So that's just a little bit more kind of digging into the piece a little bit since we don't have to really dive into anyone else's here. But there was one thing or just a couple things that I think could be improved for the next time that you play it, right? So I noticed you were using pedal. There was a couple spots where the notes weren't completely accurate, and then I think you skipped one of the measures in the last line. So I just want to make sure we can go over those there. So just one particular place that I remember before I just get rid of this. Let me just finish this. Chord, chord, whoops, chord. So hopefully you'll remember these terms here a little bit better now. Let me just take a screenshot. Okay, there we go. So as I was saying, right at the end here, what I heard happened is you went straight from this measure here to over here, right? So something we can actually go through just because we have a little bit of extra time. Are you able to start on measure 13, or do you want to start from measure 9 just to go through that last part one more time here?
Can we work on measure 9 first, please?
Yeah, you can definitely start here. It's a little bit easier to start in. Nice. That time played it beautifully. Nothing was skipped over anything. I heard all the notes, so very good. Maybe it was just in the moment, like memory thing. But this last part, I have had even a few of my students, they've had issues on their own just remembering how to play this part, because if you look at the second line, there's a lot of similarity, but the chords are kind of in a different order, right? Like this is your first one over here. The last one in your second line is the second one over here. And then this one, right? This one is still the third one, but you can see they've shifted over a little bit and they're not being played in the same order. So this can be a little hard to memorize. But that's something that I think would benefit you to just go back and look at, make sure you understand the order of them, and know that they are the same chords, just being played in, again, different order, right? So it's just being able to remember which one goes first, second, and third. So that there's that part. And then we wanted to, oh yeah, I also wanted to talk about movement with you on one part here. Okay. So just take a little picture of this one too. And yeah, since it's just us, it's kind of more, I guess, of a one-on-one type of thing, which is totally fine. Okay, so movement, right? Let's see. Do you want to talk about the first part or the second part? Like maybe you can think about which part you had a harder time with the movement.
Mostly, I had trouble with the second part of it. So
The second part of it? Okay. Okay. Yeah, so let's look at this. So both hands, right? They are in, do you know what 5-finger scale this would be?
for the right hand, thumb is on A,
Mhm.
middle is on C, and pinky's on E. For the left hand, it's pinky on A, middle on middle C, and thumb on E.
Yeah, beautiful. So that is what we would call A minor. Some I guess could just call it a five finger scale, but that doesn't give you a quality, right? That doesn't give you major or minor. So in this case, just to be specific, right, I would say A minor five finger scale. So that could be what we call your starting position, right? So moving forward, what happens here in your left hand?
Your fingers shift downwards, and it turns into a. Wait, not shift. I mean, say your fingers stretch. The
Mhm.
finger is on D now, and your thumb is on F. And it's the same thing for the right hand.
Right. In this case, though, which finger? I think here you said your thumb stretches, right?
Yes. Oh wait.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's correct. So your thumb does a stretch over here, right here, and then your third finger. What's your third finger doing?
Your third finger goes on D, and your pinky goes on F.
So how does the third finger get to D over here?
It does a stretch.
Good. Very good. Gonna write stretch over here. Perfect. Make sure that looks good. Okay. So then moving from there, right, what happens with both hands when you go to the next measure?
Your fingers shift downwards.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes. Your hand moves down. So I'm still learning a little bit on the how to draw all these symbols. But I think it's just this guy right here. So we have, actually, let me make it a different color. So shift down. Both, and then yeah, so we shift it down. And then the rest of it, I think for the most part, it's basically just stretches and shifts, right? Stretches and shifts. There's not too much in terms of other kinds of movement that I haven't noticed. But is there anything else other than a stretch or a shift that you see in your piece? Or at least in the second part?
in measures 16, your pointer finger has to kind of make its way up to the black key. Oh wait.
Mm-hmm. The adjustment. Yeah, good point. So the way that I learned to write this is just an arrow adjusting because your right hand, right, your third finger is adjusting to the black key to the right, correct?
Yes.
You said? Okay, good. I'm not sure if you have probably have the same symbol, but what do you have written for your paper? Or did you write any of the annotations? I would assume maybe.
Oh, I don't have this printed out. I lit
Oh, okay. Your professor just shares the screen.
yes.
Okay, no problem, no problem. Let me double check something here. So I'll just take a quick picture and we'll just wrap up. So I do have the Oaklef notation. Oh yeah, there is a poly move there, I think, at the end. Oh, shift up, stretch. Okay, yeah, my symbols are a little bit different. Okay. Yeah, let me pull this up one more time. So fix this here. So what you had probably instead of this arrow, right, I wrote this here. So let me just make sure I wrote this properly. So yeah, instead of this arrow, it should be one of these moving up. So shift forward. It's like this. And then I'll just erase that. And then this one shifted down should actually be this way. Perfect. And I'll just erase these other ones. But just from all of the moves, do all of them make sense to you? You understand how to execute them and like what they mean and everything?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Just erase this, whiting it out. All right, perfect. So I'll just finish up here writing out the names and then yeah, if you don't have any more questions, we can just end it there. But very nice performance. Keep working on it, and I'll just make some notes for your professor with just what we did, and then maybe some improvements and everything. So yeah, do you have any other questions or comments?
No, I don't. No.
All right, awesome. Well, nice job again, and I'll probably see you at another performance. So yeah, nice job. See you.
Thank you.
No
Bye.
problem.
Have a
Bye.
good day.
Thank you. You too. Bye bye.